Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel Supreme Black High with another video, and today we have another rant slash review of episode 10 of Wonder Egg Priority. Now this episode unveils a lot. We learn a lot about the why of the series. Aka and Aka are not who we thought they were based off the last episode review, and I just want to say spoilers because we have a lot that's going on that we could possibly cover. I don't know if I'm gonna cover everything. Obviously I want you guys to watch this for yourself. If you haven't, if you have, then keep watching the video. So with episode 10 synopsis, I would say that it starts off with Momo having a dream of a date that she's about to go on, and this date is actually going to happen IRL. So she wakes up from the dream and she sees her dress, and that's the dress that she's wearing in the dream. And she dresses as a girl. That's something that's really important to note. This is a dress, not the normal attire that she's used to wearing. So fast forward a little bit, and we see our main girl sitting in the little garden, and they confront Aka and Aka about last episode with the meeting with Nairu's assistant. And it turns out that they run, like Nairu's business kind of runs this entire thing. I guess she didn't speak on it. Maybe she didn't know. I don't know. I mean, it's not really clear, but it doesn't really matter at the same time because they're willing to give out all the answers, but our girls get distracted with girls talk. And I uploaded a video with that. Go ahead and check that out. It's just an anime clip. In the girls talk, they end up finding out that Momo is having a date or has had a date with a boy. Everyone thinks that it's a girl, especially Rika, but it's actually a boy. And they're all surprised, so they gotta go gossip about it. They end up going to talk to her, and that dream that Momo end up having was a reality. You know, she had the dream, she wakes up, she goes to that date that she had a dream about, but apparently her date was horrified because, again, I told you to pay attention to the dress. Everyone thinks that Momo's a guy, even though I think it's pretty obvious that it's not a guy. But anyways, everybody in the show thinks that Momo's a guy, and the person who asked her out on a date was a boy, but ended up being a gay boy, thinking that Momo was also a boy. But that's why he was horrified when it was a girl. But I mean, that doesn't really matter. It's just kind of depressing. You know, you would think that something good is happening for Momo, but it isn't. And I've said, I think the last episode review, I said that this show has all the bright colors and stuff like that, but at the end, it's just masking a lot of depressing things. And this isn't the worst that happened in the series, but it kind of sucks for Momo. You feel bad. Nevertheless, fast forward, and Momo is rescuing another girl with the Wonder Egg, and this girl's dressed up as a boy. We end up figuring out that this is a boy in a girl's body, which means that this character is trans. It's the first trans character that I've ever seen in an anime, and I mean, they do it pretty well. It's not really something to really focus on, but yes, another trans character, and she saves the trans girl who ends up having her own dark history, which is a very believable thing. It's probably something I'm going to cover in my actual show review because her story is very believable. Like, I actually feel like I'd met somebody like that before, but either or, she saves the character, and that character ends up kissing Momo, and that ends up being Momo's first kiss. She blushes, and I'm assuming that she's going to keep her promise to that character. Ai gets let down by her crush, and then Momo ends up saving her statue's life. Yes, she is the first character to unlock or finish the game, quote unquote. And the reward is not what you think it would be. First, it's very confusing because we still don't see that girl, but then we get this character, and we also see our first character death. And I'm not going to really touch on that too much. But yeah, that's basically what happens in this episode. Now, I want to talk about each important thing, and then that'll be the end of the video. So first, we finally figure out Mr. Sawaki's view of Ai, and it's actually a good thing. He doesn't feel anything romantic for Ai, and he lets her down, saying basically, I love your mom, you will eventually be beautiful like your mom, but you're her daughter. That was a sweet way of telling her no, and you can tell that it hurt Ai, but she changed her focus really quickly to the other thing that was on her mind, which we'll talk about next episode, I'm sure. Momo's story this episode was just filled with hardships. At first, I didn't really think she dealt with that much. I definitely thought she dealt with the least as far as issues each of our characters deal with, but the identity crisis is such a big deal. And me minimizing that issue in the face of other issues is no good because the show illustrates the harm that it can do. Like, she dresses up to look like a girl, And apparently she's had this masculine appearance, and that's what the show wants her to have, even though it's quite apparent that they didn't do a good job with that because she looks like a girl through and through. But the date fell through because the guy thought that she was a guy. Fortunately, she gains a foil in Kaoru, who's trans, and he helps her open up her femininity, which is lovely. Quick note, the backstory for Kaoru, which I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong, is really realistic. He's trans, but since he has the body of a girl, he was sought after in the worst way. When he went to his kendo teacher for advice, he raped him and he got him pregnant. Now, for those who are confused, because that is a very confusing sentence, if you don't understand trans lives, I understand. I'm not here to explain that I'm woke. I'm not here to explain trans. They can do that for themselves. But if I'm being honest, I don't even really agree with the whole side of things on their side, but I do respect it. And in saying that, based off of their own beliefs, a man can get pregnant due to having the body of a woman. Anyways, he killed himself because of that event, and I just feel like that has happened to someone in real life. This exact story has happened, and that's how believable it is. I'm pretty sure. I'm willing to bet $100. Momo and him have a romantic moment, and all is well until we see that she brings her statue back to life, and then this character pops up. This might be Thanatos. The only info that I have is that this character is related to Thanos. I'm only saying that because their names are very close. But Thanatos was talked about by Akka and Uraraka, and we have to figure out who exactly this is. But we will learn more very soon. Next week even, as we are on the last 2 or 3 episodes. That's it for this video. It's Supreme Black Eye. See you guys next week. Pass.